Wednesday, May 21st. It was a beautiful Wednesday morning during New York session. NASDAQ was completely just taking off and it wasn't showing any signs of slowing down. We would just watch it push, consolidate, break out and push again. Taking buys on NAS like this was really easy. But I'm willing to bet that most traders had no idea what was about to happen in NAS. And I'll show you right here on this little playback, right? NAS completely melted. In this video, I'm going to break down why I knew that NASDAQ was going to drop and also how I managed to catch a sell position at the very top of the drop. And yes, don't worry, as we go through this, you'll see proof, screenshots of all the actual trades and analysis done in real time for this trade. The reason most traders probably wouldn't have even expected this to happen is we had no scheduled data, no news, and we had no political speaker scheduled to speak either. Plus, we also just took some massive upside on NAS. I had an entry down here, right at the stock exchange open because I was bullish on NAS. And this was a monster move. You can see the recording of me entering the trade live with hundreds of traders. If we can find the recording, we'll put it right here. I can even scroll over to the win section inside the Day Trading University, and you can see yesterday here. Here's NAS break even. Here's another NAS trade here. Once again, yesterday was May 21st. Today is the 22nd. So again, right here, bam, nice. Thank you, Josh. You're welcome. These are the NAS buys, right? That I was telling you that we were taking in the morning right before the drop. So all these trades are actually either taken live or shared with the private community in real time. So we've just had this massive upside. We've had consolidation, a breakout again, and we're getting consolidation again. So to expect NAS to completely recover more than this whole move, it's reasonable not to think that that would happen. I'll show you the actual headline that came out, which caused this. You can see here yesterday. Now today's date, let me bring up maybe like the news terminal or something so you can see what today's date is. Right, you can see today's date, today, May 22nd. So when you see yesterday, it was May 21st. This is this is actually when it was happening. So yesterday, May 21st, the White House supports the House Republicans tax bill. This was at 12:58 p.m. That's when I sent it. It came out about a minute sooner. And look at this candle right here. If you see at the bottom, see it says 12:55. This was at 12:56, 12:58. This was that time. That headline came out at the exact same time that we see this drop right here on NAS. So let's go over where I entered this trade and why. I'll start by coming over to the Discord where my live trading group is because I have the actual entry here. So let's start by seeing where my entry was. We can see I have 15 contracts right there. It was a little bit of profit. 21,522 is where my entry was. So it's going to be here. Now I did not enter on this candle. I have one of my rules. I trade fundamentals. I've been trading fundamentals for 4 or 5 years. Probably should have said that in the beginning. But one of my rules when it comes to trading something that's high impact or the potential for a lot of volatility, I usually will not enter on the first candle unless if it's completely clear. What I'm looking at are a few different things. I really like trading NASDAQ, although I trade gold a lot too. But when I'm looking at NASDAQ, there's a couple different things I like to look at. This is usually the chart that I'm looking at when I'm trading live. And the VIX is one of them. We'll play this out on NAS a little bit right here. We see, look how much NAS dropped, blasted to the downside. And at the exact same time, volatility index was spiking up. So that's for a confirmation for me is I want to see the headline and it needs to be following the bias, right? Like, does this headline mean downside for NAS? Now that's a little vague because there's a lot of different things that can cause downside for NAS. This video that we're talking about in this trade is literally just one example. There's a ton of different things that can happen. But number one is like, is this headline actually make me believe that NASDAQ would drop? Yes. Okay, great. Now, is everything else lining up? Number one, is NASDAQ actually dropping? Yes. NASDAQ is actually dropping. Cool. Now, I want to make sure that this trade is going to hold, which is exactly why I didn't enter, because this 5-minute candle, I would have been entering at support. I'm not doing that. Technically, I still did, but I waited for this candle to push up, make sure it doesn't come all the way back up, right? Because one of the things that can happen, in trading fundamentals long enough, you see this a lot. We can get the reaction, but it can still hold, right? This wasn't as clear cut of a headline, although it was really good for a trade. It wasn't that clear cut in what it said, but the markets reacted, which is why I'm still comfortable taking the trade because it makes sense. One thing I probably could have done better is hold the trade longer. Like I closed my trade somewhere around here. Realistically, I was already break even though this was fast and there was a lot of volume. So even when I look back at this, I'm like, okay, I went break even here. This wick still would have taken me out. So even if I tried to hold longer, I would have had to been okay with not holding my trade at break even with a ton of volatility. And frankly, I'm not comfortable doing that after I'm already a couple $1,000s in profit. I'm going to protect my capital. So when I look at this, I'm like, nah, not a big deal. You know, you're not going to catch the entire move of every trade you take. This is an extreme example where I think I closed with $1,200 in profit. It should have been $12,000 in profit. But I did take a couple scalps following it down with volume, which I don't really like doing, but this was just a massive, massive drop. And it was all thanks to headlines, all thanks to understanding how the headline is going to impact NAS, waiting for that opportunity. We were able to capitalize on the buys all the way down here again, and then sell NAS all in the same day based on fundamentals and just incorporating technical analysis to it. If you guys find this helpful, let me know in the comments below. I do want to try doing like market recap videos and trade breakdowns daily or as often as possible. You know, I'm trading live every single day. I'm always here. I live in the office. It's easy for me to do, but let me know in the comments below if you guys find them helpful because I'd like to do more of them.